Good morning, good afternoon. We should be live. We should be live now. How is everyone doing? Currently live. Let's get this party started. Live. Just checking if I'm live. Just checking if I'm live. Alright, nice. Live. Good to go. Average luck. Hello, how are you doing? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Alright, let me post this. We are live. Live in stream. Cool. Let's go live on Kick, Twitch, and Twitter. Cool. We should be live with all other platforms now. So bear with me whilst I set everything up. Where's my Twitter? What the hell? Tradevate, Twitch, Discord. Where the hell is my Twitter? Okay, well, let's open another one. Let's sort out Twitter. Where is it? Live stream. 1st September 2026. Stream next. Go to thumbnail. Next. Go live. Cool. Live on every single platform. Like the stream, guys. Live. Hello. Yes. Hello, Toby. Kanj FX. Like the stream. Like the stream. He's correct. Like the stream, guys. If you're enjoying the sauce that I'm dropping so far, 2 minutes into the stream. Amazing sauce, 2 minutes in the stream so far. Hello, Faith. How are you doing? I hope everyone is doing well. Let me just make sure everything is up and running. Everything is up and running. Cool. Twitch, Kick, Twitter, done. YouTube as well. Nice. Everything is up and running. Cool. So let's get this party started. With what I'm currently seeing today. Actually, no, let's give it one more minute. 2 more minutes. Let me just post this on my Instagram story as well. And then we can begin. And then we can begin. Streams. Live. Where is it? Hold on, where's my... I'm trying to find a picture. Alright, here we go. Add link. Hello, MNNQES. Dude, you need to like remove the double M from your name, but I don't think you can, right? Someone's probably taken it. MNQES. But that is a handful to say. Cool. Posted it on Instagram now. Let's give it a couple more seconds and then break down what I am currently seeing for the day, for the session. You know, we do have a massive dump. Oh yeah, also Tradify is running 50% off. Use code Hugh. That is 50% off every single account. So no matter what account you have, Growth, Select, Lightning, it's all 50% off. For 2 users, and it ends in 2 weeks. So make sure you use it. In fact, let me change the layout right now. Wait, which chat is this? YouTube chat, text form. I assume it's this one. Okay, there we go. 50% off. Use code Hugh. Ends in 2 weeks. Right, so make sure you guys use that. apart from that, we should be all good to go. I think this is going 29053 Valiero low from August 24th if it's going to the downside. Let me check. Bear with me whilst I check this. And then I shall... Let me do the pre-market analysis. And then we shall see what's happening. So, starting with the volume profile. Where are we currently opening at? 29101. So yeah, we've had basically a really fat dump so far. Almost 1.5%. 1.5% of a drop. Yeah, almost 1.4%. Currently price is at 29100, which is there. So let me just see if everything's working correctly. Am I laggy? I shouldn't be laggy, but my screen feels laggy. Don't know what's happening. Excel charts introduced some new update or something, and now I'm just super lagging all the time. But let me know if I'm lagging on any of your screens or not. I shouldn't be. But anyways, nice. Okay, cool. So the market is currently at 29,100. The next level of support is going to be 29,000 or 29,050 because of, you know, the proximity between 29,050 and 29,000. You might as well just use 29,000, to be honest with you. But you know, I would still be wary of that of those levels. I actually did take a nice swing setup here. Yeah, I had a nice short that was supposed to be a swing, but I didn't expect for us to expand way lower yesterday. So what that was what I saw was this. Let me just break this down, break down the swing for you. I'm out of that position by now. I got trailed out, unfortunately, but it was still a nice trade nonetheless. So you have this range high. Really simple trade. Doesn't get any simpler than this or easier than this, right? Range low, range high, internal level. And I basically used this internal level as an external high because of the range of because of how big the range is. So I just used this as the internal as the external high. We come in, right? Sellers step in, responsive sellers step in. We have aggressive buying. We do have large aggressive buying here, but they don't get rewarded. And then sellers step in, and you can see positive delta within the large upper wick. Bearish body closure. Next candle closes bearish. So then once this candle closed bearish like this, with these aggressive buyers not getting rewarded, what does that tell you? That tells you this level has been protected by sellers. Passive sellers have absorbed any aggressive buying here, and responsive sellers have kicked in to bring price lower. So now you have aggressive selling and you have passive selling on your side. Entry there, stop loss above there, and then you look to target the range line. It's as simple as that. I got trailed out. So when I opened this chart, it was somewhere around here. I put my stops above the current H4 formation, and that was just, you know, that was pretty aggressive because I thought it was gonna displace lower, but we did get a displacement lower. The stop loss was just aggressive, and I got taken out somewhere around here, around 1.5 hour before it starts to dump to my original target. But yeah, that was a swing trade, a swing short that I was in. You can count it as the first swing position. I mean, I entered on Monday, so yesterday. I didn't expect it to play out straight away, but it is what it is. You can count it as the first trade of the month for swings. Actually, yeah, first trade of the month, technically. But yeah, so that was the swing. Hopefully, you know, hopefully Q4 brings us some nice price action. But going back to this, you know, we've left this imbalance, the balanced state of delivery. Like I said, this is the balanced range, broken out of it. You know, we've had some fuckery around here, whatever the fuck. Price could do whatever it wants. And it did do whatever it wanted around here. As we approached the end of August, you know, you could see from yesterday's price action, it was pretty dog. Yeah, yesterday wasn't the best day, but it was manageable. I think I was only down -1R. Yeah, I was only down -1R, and that trade was pretty aggressive as well on my end. So yeah, good risk management yesterday on that in that regards, but now we are in an imbalanced state of delivery, and the market is currently playing at 29,100. So the next level becomes this naked valley area low. If we could break below it, then you're looking for a large expansion to the downside. However, because you've already had a large expansion pre-session, there is a good chance we could just balance out. And this balancing out means two-sided price delivery, and is likely going to happen within this value area high, which overlaps with this value area low, which overlaps with this value area low. So technically this naked value area low over here. So this is where the market is opened, or this is where the market is going to open. If we do balance out because of the large expansion, it's likely we get a rotational place between 29,200 and 29,050. That is a very likely scenario if sellers are unable to continue price lower, which wouldn't be a surprise since you have pretty much from yesterday's closure, wherever the fuck that was, you had a large dump of around 200 points. Right? Basic market mechanics. Can't just expand all in one go. It can't just expand forever. Dude, why is my screen laggy? What is happening with extra charts? Whatever. But yeah, let's wait until market opens and then see what it provides us. Like I said, that's just what I'm favoring. The OBM framework will show you guys what to trade, what to take. You wanna just react. You don't wanna. You don't want to predict. That's the last thing you want to do. One more minute until, well, not one more minute, 30 seconds until New York opens. Yeah, I traded yesterday. It was a pretty slow day. Down -1R, right? Down -1R. A lot of trades were saved yesterday. A lot of trades were saved. You know, this was the price action we had yesterday. Absolute fuckery, right? But if you have a clear framework, you're going to be kept out of a lot of low probability trades anyway. So yeah, but you know, yesterday was a pretty slow day anyway. Let's start marking out my levels. So I mentioned 29,050. And then 29,206. So technically, because we are playing outside of yesterday's value area, we're technically in an imbalanced state of delivery relative to yesterday's value area. However, which market are here? However, we now have more levels to play with, and because we've had that expansion, like I said, pre-session, it doesn't, you know, there's a good chance we do start to balance out and then find balance. So that is something I would be wary of. That is something I'd be wary of. But yeah, let's see. So this is current open. Yeah, technically we're inside this range. What I would favor is an imbalanced state of delivery to the downside, right? Imbalanced expansion. We do have red folder in 29 minutes, 10 a.m. New York time. Let me check what that was. So that is also something to look out for. Yeah, ISM manufacturing. So you also have to look out for that as well. But apart from that, right, you have key levels here. These are my key levels. You have this low, you have this high. Anything in between, slightly low probability. Until you get internal ranges. And let's see what the market provides us. So already we've opened with extremely negative delta, right? Which is very favorable for us. Because what I want to see is delta continue to stay negative. Sellers continue to take control and break below this low over here. But let's see what the first 10-15 minutes plays out for us. Playing below VWAP. Seems to be reacting off of VWAP already. This is the sessions VWAP, by the way. I didn't use electronic trading hours. The chart is kind of choppy on stream. Hold on. I think it's exo charts, because the exo charts is kind of choppy for me at the moment as well. When the candles are forming. Let me check. I'll try to fix it after the stream if it's actually choppy. Let's check. Yeah, I have no idea what happened, but extra charts literally just got laggy as hell over the weekend. Yeah, laggy as hell over the weekend. No clue, zero clue what happened. Yeah, if my face cam is smooth, then it's extra charts. The choppiness you're talking about is extra charts. That is something I can't really... I'll try to fix it. Hold on, let me see. I just have no clue why it's so laggy though. Let me try closing some workspaces. Close this, close this. I might have just too many charts open on extra charts, but that usually shouldn't be an issue. Yeah, because I see choppy price action right now as well on extra charts. It's a bit shit. Let me just stop. Yeah, let me try to fix that as best as I can. Hold on. It's not very ideal. 21. It shouldn't lag. Extra chart shouldn't lag. I don't know why it's lagging. Is this any better? Is this any better? Can't tell for sure. Like I said, good chance we start to just level out here. Are the same? Okay, I'll try to fix it after the stream. Because I think you have to like literally close the chart and stuff, which isn't ideal. Let me see. Let me try to maybe delete cache and reload and see if it's any better. Let's delete cache and reload. Yeah, I'll see after the stream and then see if I could get it fixed or not. But let's focus on the trade for now. So we have this. I'm gonna reinstall exo charts after this and see if that fixes it. hopefully it fixes. Let me know if you guys want me to stream tomorrow as well. I don't think I'll be streaming with Chart Fanatics anymore. I'll probably just be focused on my own personal channel. So which means there is a potential for Wednesday streams. So I can potentially stream every Tuesday till Thursday rather than just Tuesday and Thursday. Let me start a poll. Or give me another day you guys prefer. Maybe Wednesday's probably one of the best days. I don't mind doing Tuesday till Thursday. I think that's good. For like public streams. Okay, nice. So this is what we currently have. This is what we are currently dealing with. I genuinely have zero clue what is causing this extra charts lag. Let me try to bring it over their support. Oh shit. What is causing my... Well, it might even be my computer, but it shouldn't be. CPU... Let me pause all of my stream previews as well. All right. Let's check this. No, none of my CPU is like overclocked or some shit. Yeah, I'll check it later. I'll check it later. Check it later. Let's focus on trading. Let us focus on trading, lads. Let's move this to... Move the volume profile. My secondary chart. Right, so right now we're pretty much just we're shitting a fan at the moment, guys. To be honest, we are shitting a fan. We've had a large dump lower. That is most likely it can have a very high chance that we're going to just balance out for this session because of that large dump we've had pre-session. That is also, you know, that's a great potential of happening. And like I said, if it does, then you're looking to just play the extremes, right? So long here or short here, right? The extremes. For now, even with the internal ranges, we have this low and this high. You don't really want to entertain anything within this range. It's really tiny. It's really small. Doesn't make sense. But let's see. You know, 10 minutes into the session now. This is approaching my execution window. You see how value area is just being built in the middle here. No trades there at the moment. We've come close to the naked value area low. Right. If we come to naked value area low, selling absorption, a response of buying kicks in, you could look to go long. Let's see what Delta is showing us. Delta is really negative here, which is going to put me off going long. Delta is just extremely negative here. I want to see a large Delta spike to the upside if we're going to continue long here. if you was aggressive, if this candle closes bearish, you could look to go short. If you was aggressive, I wouldn't do it simply because of the large expansion we've had already. I would be wary of that. I'd rather be more selective and look for a retest. But you know, you do have buying absorption within this candle. Large sellers. The question now becomes if they get rewarded or not. You know, sellers do look like they're struggling at the moment, but until the candle closes, it's too soon to tell. If this candle closes bullish, there's a potential for a long setup, but delta is still flat for me. I'm wary of this. I'm just eyeing this out really carefully here. Let's see. Wait, did this candle close? What the fuck? No, it hasn't. Sellers stepping in again. Let's see how this candle closes. I'm eyeing delta. That's the main thing I'm eyeing at the moment, right? Within this candle's delta. I'm holding off. Holding off here. It doesn't look like a nice long formation. Like mechanically speaking, right? You have your absorption, you have the secondary candle closing higher, but delta is just extremely negative. You know, buyers are barely moving price. Let's see. Tricky one, lads. VWAP is here as well. Just eyeing this. I'm just looking very carefully at cumulative volume delta here. You know, this does look like good signs for buyers, but VWAP is what's putting me off at the moment. Right. Yeah, bought in that. Doesn't look good. What I would much more prefer is the break above VWAP, retest, and then that would be my long continuation. But now I'm aborting this long setup until we get our break above VWAP. Getting that break. Need a retest here. Yeah, I mean, in hindsight, could have been potentially a nice long, but CVD really puts me off there. CVD really put me off. What is the bubble saying? Large aggressive selling, 132 selling contracts, absorbed, passive buying supply here. Right, large passive buying supply as opposed to aggressive selling demand. And then buying initiation steps in. Well, responsive buying steps in. And then, yeah, now you're getting expansion to the upside. That is what the bubbles are saying. Yeah, that was just a funky trade. You also have this internal high as well. And let's see. Rather be safe than sorry. Bro, who the fuck voted no for stream on Wednesday? You don't want to take rejections from you. This is still like considered an internal level. Let me think. Let me actually go back to volume profile. We have this value area. Value. Yeah, technically, like from here to here, 2950 to 29200. That is still a widely balanced range. Hold on, bear with me 1 second, guys. All right, we're back. We're back. Yeah, I mean, like I said, in hindsight, not too bad of a trade. Generally not too bad of a long. It's just that CVD put me off there. And this is what happens when you like mix in discretionary with a mechanical framework. A lot of times it saves you. A lot of times price plays out in your favor. This is what it is. That's just what you have to accept. Right, because mechanically speaking, this was also yesterday's price action, right? And it followed a similar formation or a similar pattern, you could call it. With aggressive selling here, buying initiation, you would have taken multiple losses here. Like you can see here, there was also a aggressive selling bubble, and here there was also an aggressive selling bubble as well. It's just not showing on a range chart because extra chart is broken, but you got to trust me on this one. In fact, let me show you. On the time frame charts, because it should show up on the time frame chart. I don't know about yesterday's data though. Let me get it out. Yeah, right here. So if you look at where my axis is aligning with each other, you have an aggressive selling at this candle, and then here there was also aggressive selling. You have to trust me. No, right here, right, aggressive selling here. You would have taken. Is my stream laggy? What the fuck? Wait, which part was laggy? Is it when I like move the charts like crazy like this and then it's laggy? What if I just keep it still like this? Is that fine? Wait, this is bad, guys. We might have to abort mission. Abort the streamer is laggy. Okay, only when I move the chart like crazy. All right, nice. Okay, I'll avoid that. Okay, hold on. I think that was... What if I just keep it still, and when the candle is moving, is it that bad? Let me know if it's that bad. I don't know how to fix this. Okay, hold on. Let me see how it looks like on OBS. Okay, that is kind of laggy. Wow. Wait. Let me try to figure out what is causing this lag. It might be my backdrop, actually. Could it be my backdrop? Yeah, I checked Task Manager. That's the weird thing. Nothing is stressing anything. Switch to Sierra, like you said. X-ray is betraying you. Bro, like my screen... Okay, my camera... There's no lag on my camera, right? Like, okay, you get the occasional... If I move really quickly, maybe, you know, because of the bitrate. But if there's no lag on my camera, if everything else on the stream is fine, then it's extra charts. Let me check my window capture. For now, there's currently no setups here anyway. If we get selling absorption here, then you can look for a long to the upside. But I wouldn't look for a rejection here. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense to me to look for a rejection. But let me see. Window capture to place the charts. Let me ask Claude. Window capture OBS lagging. I'm capturing window. Hold on, let me try to change the FPS, maybe. The FPS shouldn't be an issue, though. Nothing... It's on all of my streams? Holy shit. This entire time I thought the stream was fine. Okay, let me figure this out. This is going to be a diagnostic stream. Right? Fuck trading for now. Just kidding. Just kidding. We're still going to be trade. We're still going to trade. But whilst there isn't any setups appearing. Let's see. Let me ask ChatGPT. I am currently live streaming with window capture on OBS. All of my other, all of my other sources, including Facecam, chat, etc., is not lagging, but only the window capture is lagging a lot, stuttering. How to fix? If I just don't move the chart, then I'll catfish the problem and it'll be fine. Okay, let's see. As long as there is... It's okay, as long as there will be trade tomorrow, we should fix your lagging. No, I'll try to fix it right now. If not, then I'll definitely get it fixed before any live streams. You can't be dealing with this lag. If the window you're capturing is a browser is very likely the culprit makes window capture. So turn off hardware acceleration inside. God damn, there's so much shit to do. Let's see if this counter close bullish. Hold on. I don't even know if I could turn off. That's what I was thinking. If it could have been exit charts hardware acceleration. But I don't think it is. I'm pretty sure I've turned it off. Hold on. If this candle closes bullish and then the next one follows through, I'm going to take a long. If it doesn't, then there's no trade. Sitting on your hands. Until it comes into VWAP, at least. Right, so now the level I am looking at is this VWAP over here. If we get selling absorption. If we get a selling absorption here. And then the next candle close bullish, you could look to go long. And I would attempt that long as well. The FPS should be set at 30. Yeah, the FPS is at 30. Which shouldn't, it shouldn't cause the stutter to begin with. But let me see what is potentially the culprit. Or maybe I should try capture card, no. Display capture, no. Window capture, no. News in 3, yeah. News in 2.5 minutes. Let's see what it gets. Hopefully it provides some volatility. But in the meantime, doesn't really look like there's much. Okay, you have this high here. And then you have this low over here. I think because of the narrative, I would much favor let's see. Because this was previously still an internal high for me, but because we've had another rejection away from it, you can start to shift the characteristics of it into an external high. Which would mean break and retest off of VWAP wouldn't be so bad. And then you can look to target this low over here. We have that news. Gonna let the news play out and see what it provides. Just hovering around VWAP. You don't really want to entertain anything here. CVD is still dead. CVD is still dead here. So that isn't good. Let's see what we currently have. If we get a break above, retest upside, retest upside. You wanna be selective with your trades, because we've already had that large expansion pre-session. You wanna be selective with it. Like catching a reversal here is like catching the knife. So catching a reversal to go bullish is like catching a falling knife. But also, if you try and catch continuation shorts, some could argue you basically missed a main move already. So today you want to be selective. You want to be careful with everything. Tread very carefully. It's also the start of the month, right? We still have the rest of the month to do any shenanigans. Just missed that. Let's see. If we get a retracement, I don't mind taking a risk entry here, because this is now my external level. My external high. I'm going to use this as the external high because we've already had a reaction away from it. And CVD is extremely negative. So if it comes back to, let's say, around here, I would look to re-enter back in. I mean, not re-enter, enter back in. Just need to... Okay, now I'm wary. I want to see if I could get a deeper retracement here. Not in yet, not in yet. Still eyeing this. This is what is putting me off here. With aggressive selling, but they don't get rewarded. Very off-putting, and especially off of VWAP. I think I bought this for now. Not in this yet. Just want to see if we get any other further selling absorption. I mean, buying absorption. Yeah, for now I'm sitting on my hands. Boing that. You know, this candle over here put me off a lot because it happens off of VWAP. VWAP is an extremely strong internal level. You know, if I was still treating this as an internal high, then I could look to go long here, and that would be a break and retest off of VWAP. Right, break and retest off of VWAP, look to target that, but then now I'm using this as the external high, so it's a bit difficult. It is difficult. Right now it's 50-50. Price could go any direction, in my opinion. There's no clear one-sided delivery here. Waiting for a break below. Yeah, I mean, the highest probability trades right now is going to be entertaining, you know, these extreme levels, or this one above here. Even this one I would be wary of. This one I would be wary, but I guess because it is within the session's high, you know, you could still treat it as an extreme. But I would be wary of this because look at what we had here. We came back and the level is like, it fails to push below VWAP. So technically from here to here, we are playing within a balanced state of delivery. The market is currently finding acceptance. It's building value here. Like I said, right, this would have been a nice break and retest off of VWAP to the upside, targeting this external high, if I didn't consider this as an external high. And if this was an internal, then I would, you know, I would look to entertain it. But it's 50-50 at the moment. It's 50-50 in my opinion. Now you see why I didn't take that short there. Even though we had the absorption and initiation, this VWAP level and how this candle closed is not good. It didn't look good for shorts, because ideally shorts shouldn't have been absorbed here, but because it did off of VWAP, that is going to enter you into a long setup. So you don't want to go short when a long setup appears. Like I said, this long would have been nice if I didn't consider this as an external high. But that doesn't mean there's no other trades, right? You could still look for a retest. What charts? Yeah, I think the time frame is cropped down this, but this is my right chart is the 80 range, right? And then this chart is the 30 seconds. The chart on the left is 30 seconds. However, this doesn't mean I trade the 30 seconds. I just have 30 seconds because extra charts is buggy with the range chart. So I use extra charts. I use the time frame chart to compromise and double check everything. Let's see if we could get a breakout retest. That would be ideal. Large aggressive buying, stepping in. I don't want to see these guys get absorbed here. I don't. Well, they can get trapped temporarily. If the next candle closes bullish with a selling absorption, then the secondary candle is likely going to close above here. So then that forms your setup. Right, exactly like I said, selling absorption. Now you want to see this candle close bullish. If this candle closes bullish and then the next candle closes bullish, ideally breaking above this high, boom, long to the upside. And this would be a very clear long. If this plays out, it will be a thing of beauty. Struggling at the moment. You know, in terms of the narrative on M-top, I would be favoring longs right now. Would be favoring longs. And you don't even need the M-top to show you what I'm seeing. Hold on. Waiting for this candle to close. We do have another large aggressive buying here, 112. If this candle rewards it, then that is your long setup. If it closes bearish here, then yeah, fuck off. Fuck off with those longs. Frick right off. A lot of aggressive buying here. But they're just not getting rewarded. Let's see. You want to wait for this candle to close bullish. If this candle doesn't close bullish, there's no trades. Right, the first candle is absorption, the second candle should be initiation. No trade. No trade, no trade, no trade. However, you could look to go short if this candle closes bearish. Wouldn't be the most ideal, but because I'm treating this as an external high, You can attempt it. I would just attempt it on prop firms. Wouldn't do it on my personal. Let's see. Yeah, like we had a lot of buys here at the highs, but they don't get rewarded. Which is never a good thing. Give me that retracement. Right, gonna go short here. And see how this plays out. Like I said, this isn't the highest probability trade. In terms of shorts. Because, you know, buyers, we did have a lot of buying here. But it did get absorbed. So, let's see how this one plays out. And my entry somewhere around here. No, a bit lower. Stops above here. And let's just see how it plays out. As it approaches VWAP, if it does approach VWAP, I'm looking to go break even really aggressively. Trailing my stops. I'm basically half off. Like reduce my risk to half. Let me see. Just above this absorption. Over here. Right, the reason for that is because we have these aggressive buying absorption. Passive sellers should ideally step back in and protect it. So I'm basically, you know, reduce my risk by half off the table. If we take this out, right, if we take this absorption level out, then there's a good chance it's going to just run for your stop loss anyway. So that is why I'm currently trailed. 0.5R on the table. If it takes me out, it takes me out. Usually I'm not this aggressive with trail, but because, you know, M12, buyers seems like they're still in control here. All right, taking out 0.5R. Still in this on this prop account. Hold on. Just about teased it by 1 point. Holy shit. My stall's above here on this account. What the fuck? I'm out on personal though. But I'm still in this on props. Stop loss is at 29145.5. I think eventually will turn me out anyway. But yeah. Let's see. I think buyers are going to start to take control here. All right, out on props. It was an attempt. It was an attempt. Yeah, buyers just seems a lot more aggressive at the moment. We've broken above that absorption level now. So now long setups are back in play. Just not getting follow through here. Every single movement higher is just getting heavily absorbed. I mean, not absorbed, but... Going to attempt another long here. Let's see. If this one fails, I don't want to entertain this level any longer. Going out here, stop loss, just below here. I'll explain the setup in a bit. But let's see how it plays out. So basically what I saw here was breaking above this passive buying, this passive selling protection, right? So sellers are exhausted, passive sellers are exhausted. And then we have aggressive selling here and aggressive selling absorption within these two candles. So I'm looking to just play the internal break and retest until the external high over here. That's like solely what I'm playing for. If you're not seeing the bubbles line up, right, it's here. These are the aggressive selling bubbles I'm talking about. But if it once again fails, then I'm not interested in taking anything at this level anymore. And it's likely going to just be low probability. Right? If this fails, I'm going to remove all my levels, looking to just entertain the highs and the lows. Internal levels could just fuck right off. Not the best. No, we're currently not getting the best reactions off of internal levels at the moment. All right, taking out for stop loss. -1R again. I mean, this was minus 0.5R, -1R. So in total, minus 1.5R so far. Could easily be made back. Remember, guys, don't copy trade me. But yeah, now I'm not interested in anything in between anymore. Right, the market is probably just going to chop and do its thing. You have this high and you have this low over here. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, good funded. This really just isn't the best price action. But what can you expect, right? Trailing my stops, entered earlier. That was a nice entry. In hindsight, you know, for me, that was a nice entry. Right, like I said, mechanically, isn't a plan. Rejection from naked value area low, absorption, initiation. The CVD just put me off. I wanted to see more buying follow through. But of course, we didn't have that, so it's fine, whatever. I don't like, my strategy doesn't really do well with deep retracements. That's what it is, because I'm really aggressive with it. I like to, this is why it works best with imbalanced states of delivery, because you get minimal retracement and it just fucks off. It just dumps like crazy with your, and my stop loss is aggressive too. So then that is where I'm able to capitalize most on my returns. But conditions like this, where you have really deep retracements, like so, you know, barely takes that out, retracement, barely takes that out, retracement. It's not the most optimal. And as you would expect, it's within this high and within this low, like I marked. Yeah, but now I really want to just pick the most highest probability trades. I don't want to entertain anything within this current market price action here. Because when you think about it, this is the high, this is the low. It's just one balanced range. Rather just take the extreme high or the extreme low. See what it looks like on the 1 minute. I guarantee you it's going to be as shit, if not worse. Yeah. Barely moves. Same thing. Same thing, same thing. Not looking for shorts anymore. In the meantime, let's try and fix this lag. Because this is really pissing me off. Setups are going to be from here or here. For those who have just joined the stream, that's what I'm currently looking for at the moment. Everything else is kind of pee-poo. Yeah, I am capturing it with my GPU. H264. But I am also streaming on Mac. I think my video encoder is Apple VT H264 hardware encoder. Everything else should work. I don't know why it's just streaming that freaks out. No idea why it's just streaming. Let me see. I think it's mainly just window capture. Because when I record, I use a display capture. When I stream, I use window capture. So I think that's the only difference. But I need to. Yeah, no, I have a MacBook. Maybe it's time to get a Mac Mini. Mac Mini M6 or Mac Mini M5 Pro. I was looking at that as well. But I think it's just the way the OBS is set up. It's just the way OBS is set up. See, Mark is not doing much at the moment. Yeah, what is this, man? What is this? It's to be expected. One second, getting a phone call. Apologies, lads. I'm back. Was an important phone call. I couldn't miss it. Was an appointment. Let's see what we get here. Love from India, a wave. Love from India. Large aggressive buying. It's not random. The question becomes if the buying is able to sustain itself. Okay, buys look like they're able to hold above here. If we get a retest now with selling absorption, I'm longing to at least 29,300. Let's see what we get here. I really want to see selling absorption kick in like that. This could be a nice long setup here. Sellers do not look good. Wouldn't take a short off here. Dude, there's like no solution to fixing this lag. But let's focus on the setup for now. Could be a nice setup appearing. The blue line is the naked value area low from Wednesday, August 28th. 28th? Hold on. What Wednesday was this? 26th. Sorry. So if you've just joined here, the blue lines is this value area low, naked value area low, and this naked value area low. My thesis coming into today was that we had a large imbalance move to the downside, large expansion lower. So there is a good chance that we just find balance and rotate. If that's the case, then the most likely scenario of us doing that is going to be between here and here, which is exactly what we are currently getting. Low volume nodes, that is already signaling to you that there's really no interest there at the moment to break to the upside or to break to the downside. But let's see on this retest. If sellers get absorbed here and they fail to bring price back inside our range, then there's a potential for a nice long setup to the upside. But let's see. a lot of aggressive buying within this candle. 53.30. But it's barely moving, which means it could open up for a short opportunity as well. It all depends on what setup forms here. This is the key level. We either get a break and retest, or we get a rejection back inside the balance range. Hold on. Bear with me, Matty. I will answer your question in a bit. I feel like this is starting to form. If it closes bullish, I will still need to wait for the next candle to close bullish. Is it naked when price already traded down through it? Like, the idea of naked is that it is stronger than an old traded value area level, so now price is not respecting it because it ain't naked? No, I mean, so you need to go back to the basics, right? Naked levels are just levels that are untapped, which means it couldn't finish the auction. There's an incomplete auction there. When it's an unfinished auction, the market tends to come back into it, and whatever participant was previously at that auction, so for example, if it's a naked value area low, there will be passive buyers protecting that level. So when the market comes back to test for two-sided delivery to finish that auction, it also wants to test whether the same passive buyers are able to step back in again or not, which is why most of the time you get those rejections. But they also become key levels because you don't always have to get a rejection. If the move that comes into that naked level has now more overwhelming demand in comparison to passive supply, so then that is where you could look for your break and retest, because that also sets up for a key level to look for retest off of. Since passive sellers, for example, at this naked value area low or value area high, let's say for example this was a naked value area high, passive sellers are going to be protecting it. So if there is more buying demand than passive sellers as we come into this naked value area level, you're not only testing for two-sided delivery and you're not only completing the auction, but the market is also testing to see if passive sellers are able to step back in and protect that level again or not. If they are unable to do so, then it becomes the key level to look for a retest, because passive sellers are now exhausted. But as price was lower than the line you have today, it must mean that it has traded through it before now. So it is already tapped, meaning it ain't naked. Yeah, I mean, if you look at it from that standpoint, it technically isn't naked anymore. But I only look at regular trading hours. So you want to keep it consistent. You either look at electronic trading hours as well, or you just look at regular trading hours, but you got to keep it consistent. Like for me, it's still naked technically. And even if it isn't naked, it's still a level of interest. Regardless, it is still a level of interest. Even if you traded through it. And the reason why it becomes a level of interest still is because, let's say you have this where we come down like that. Hold on, no. Let me try to draw out what we're currently seeing. So let's say you have a move higher and then you have a naked level there. Price comes down pre-session before regular trading hours and it breaks through, and then now you're getting that movement during regular trading hours. So this right here is regular trading hours. Keep that in mind. Here, this is naked. We come down, fine, it's no longer naked, but there was passive buying supply here. So there needs to be a large number of aggressive selling to break past this passive buying supply. So once it breaks past it, this is still a key level because you needed a significantly larger quantity of aggressive selling demand to break through this large passive buying supply. So this is now still acts as a key level, and that is why when we come back into it, you could still look for a break and retest or a rejection, because sellers, aggressive sellers, are going to try and protect this level, right? So, you know, depending on however you think of it, two things: keep it consistent, and the second thing is, in theory, even though you break past it once or you break past it during pre-session, it's still a level of interest, which is the main thing. That's the main thing. In trading, you're just trading off of levels. So that's the theory behind it. If it's kind of close bullish, looking to go long, but it's starting to stall, which is not the best. Patience pays. Patience pays. Candle hasn't closed yet. CVD is now above baseline. Right, it's positive. See what M12 is showing. All right, going into a long here. Looking to target 300s or close to that. Let's see. This is probably going to be the only, probably one of the last setups, or will be one of the last setups I'm looking to entertain today. If this doesn't work out, it'll be very choppy. Remember, guys, don't copy trade me. But yeah, let's see. Like, ideally, you want a large expansion here. If we don't get a large expansion, then we're just gonna chop. We're gonna just chop. Because now, when you think of it theoretically, you're in an imbalanced state of delivery. You're not copying? Okay, good, good. Because if any of you copy trading me, you're gonna lose money in the long run. Yeah, the stream has a natural delay to it. By the way, if any of you guys are in the market for a hand cream, this one right here. This one is amazing. Absolutely amazing. I'm not sure if you guys... Wait, hold on. What does the camera see? Right here. I think it's called Aesop Geranium Leaf Body Balm. Smells great. Smells like a proper cream. Aesop, AESOP, and then it's a the flavor is geranium or something. GERANIUM. 10 out of 10 would vouch. I don't know how much it is though. Loki, I forgot. Alright, out on prop firms. Break even. Well, not yet. At this low. On personal. Making them losses back, baby. But yeah, I'm pretty much risk-free now, basically. I want to see this level hold. We shouldn't break below this level. 250, it's likely we get a battle order around here. Right, 250. But yeah, if you're not, at least nearly risk-free here, you should be. Took TP, nice. Send some donations. Donate. I should set up like donations on the chat. So when you guys take trades and they hit take profit, you could donate to me. I might force a donation. God damn. Hand smells fresh as flip. Aesop Geranium. What the fuck? This shit was $100? Wait, never mind. No, that's the 500mm. Can't be. Yeah, that's 500mm. It's not $100. It's actually only $50. Wait. Why is it so much more expensive? Actually, no, it sounds about right. Yeah, so if you guys want to spend nearly a 50k evaluation on hand cream, this is the one. It's the best one in the price range. Might not be worth it. You could probably get one for like $10 and it does the job, but it smells good. This one smells good. So yeah. Not liking what I'm seeing so far. But let's leave it running. Yeah, I'm pretty much risk-free anyway. In fact, no, my entry was a bit lower. So yeah, I'm basically break even. Where's my entry? Where is it? This is on micro, so it's around here. Yeah, basically nearly risk-free. Well, 0.000 whatever. No, out for break even. +1 on prop firms. Slowly making his way back. Slowly making the way back. Now I'm not interested in anything until I don't enter offer retracements until we break above here. Because now this becomes range low, range high. most of the time when you get a retracement like this, depending on the candles, like the secondary candle is going to close somewhat near this anyway, so then you can look for that long. But yeah. Let's see how this candle starts to form, because we do have a lot of aggressive selling here. These sellers are currently not getting rewarded. If the next candle closes bullish, there's a potential to go long again. What if this candle closes bullish and then the next one closes bullish? But let's see how that one plays out. M12 Delta is still positive here. I wouldn't look for shorts until we break below here, and then you get a retest there. If you enter the short here, it's technically still valid, but it would be pretty aggressive, in my opinion, because we just had this long setup forming. So yeah, if you do take a short back inside value area, that is for mean reversion play, you know, that is valid. You just have to accept that it's not the highest probability. If you take a short here, salts would have been above here, potentially, or here, but then you're stuck with this. So if you are in the short, let's say your stop is here, and you're targeting maybe VWAP or just internal level, I would go break even really quick as it approaches value area high or value area low over here. I would, like, even if this is a naked value area low, I would consider it as a value area high. So yeah, entirely depend on you, whatever you want to do. Not financial advice, but it is valid. Mean reversion play. You have your absorption here, initiation, continue lower. Gonna give it a couple more minutes and then we'll start to wrap it up. I don't think there'll be much high probability setups. In the meantime, let's try and fix this. Back to trying to fix this OBS thing. There's literally no guides whatsoever on how to fix this. If you're in this is where I will start to trail to break even. Trail to break even. Because if these sellers get absorbed, it's very bad. Very bad. So you want to go break even at least. Or, you know, trail to at least this candle's high. Wait, hold on. This whole time I had a Mac OS screen capture instead of a window capture that I could have used. What the? No, I need to look into that after the stream, most likely. And then figure it out. But let's see. Yeah, apparently, yeah, because window capture is like the outdated version. I actually have a macOS screen capture, and I thought that shares the entire screen, but Claude is saying that I could set it to just do a window, which I need to test out. It says newer OBS on macOS has a unified macOS screen capture source that uses Apple Screen Capture Kit. If you're on older window capture source, that's legacy much more. Add a fresh macOS cassette it to method type to window. I didn't know that. What the fuck? So yeah. You know what I mean? You know, if you enter this, yes, it's valid, but it's aggressive. It's not high probability. You're gonna come into this value or high. How is CVD looking? I think I would attempt a long here if this closes bullish. I would attempt a long. You know, distance wise, you have around 20-30 points until this absorption level. I would just trail really aggressively. M12 looks really bullish as well, so that supports the narrative. CVD is increasing. Clear absorption at lows here, at value area low. Let's see if it closes bullish or not. If this doesn't close bullish, then stream is potentially going to end here. Okay, you see me say goodbye and the stream will abruptly end. Just kidding. Struggling. Absolutely struggling. you know, no interest in anything there now. Gonna wrap it up. You know, not the best session, but we dealt with what we had. And yeah, that's just part of the game. We had a large expansion to a downside first day of the month. It was likely we were going to just balance out. Right? Very likely that was going to happen. And it did happen. We got chopped up a bit, but it is what it is. Hopefully, you guys didn't blow your account or you didn't leave a large dent in your account. If you have any final questions, just leave them in chat and I will answer them. We'll give it a couple more seconds until I fully end the stream. But yeah, tomorrow I should be streaming. But if I can't fix this stupid exocharts lag by tomorrow, then it might be cooled off. But watch out for, just look out for the announcement. I should be streaming tomorrow. For now, right? Assume that I am streaming tomorrow. Same time, 2:15 p.m. BST, 1:15 p.m. UTC, 9:15 a.m. EDT, EST, I don't know, 10:15 a.m. God knows. But yeah, I will be live again tomorrow. So if you guys have no questions, take care. And I will see you tomorrow, hopefully, when I get this all fixed up. When I get like my lag and stuff fixed up. But yeah, take care, guys, and I will